Section 4. Education, Housing, and Transportation. Our learning objectives are to explain the federal government's role in education, housing, and urban renewal, and transportation. Public education programs. Public education remains a local responsibility under state guidelines. The federal government aids local schools and higher education institutions. The Morrill Act of 1862 granted states public land for colleges. The GI Bill financed education for veterans of World War II and later wars. The first General Aid to Education Act was passed in 1965. Federal aid for education is controversial. Critics charge that education should be a state and local concern. In 1983, President Reagan appointed a commission to study why American students performed less well than European and Asian students. In 1994, Congress passed the Goals 2000 Education in America Act to improve graduation rates and raise academic standards. Through the legislation like the No Child Left Behind Act, President George W. Bush's administration has focused on education reform on testing and increasing student and teacher accountability. Through Race to the Top, we are asking states to advance reforms around 4 specific areas: standards for college/career readiness, tools to measure student growth and improve instruction, retaining effective teachers and principals, especially where they are needed most, and turning around our lowest achieving schools. Housing and urban programs. The federal government began providing loans for homes and farms during the Great Depression. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, is in charge of the Federal Housing Administration, or FHA, which helps low-income families purchase homes. Urban renewal has restored older neighborhoods but has also driven out lower-income residents. Public housing has faced serious problems in attempting to provide affordable urban housing, as many projects have become high-rise slums and centers of crime. In the 1990s, reforms to the nation's housing policy gave more control to state and local officials and focused on closing the gap between white and minority home ownership statistics. Transportation programs. In 1811, the first national road was constructed. Federal funds have helped construct canals, dams, ports, highways, railroads, and airports. In 1966, Congress created the Department of Transportation, or DOT, to coordinate national transportation policies and programs. The DOT has numerous federal agencies, including the Federal Aviation Administration, or FAA, and the Federal Highway Administration, or FHA. The Federal Road Aids Act of 1916 first gave aid to states that matched funds. States now receive billions each year to maintain the interstate highways. Since 1995, the FHA is focused on transportation needs such as road maintenance and reducing traffic fatalities and congestion. The Transportation Equity Act of the 21st Century, or TEA-21, provided funds to improve mass transit and to develop high-speed rail systems.